I'm Lieutenant Cody Fulweiler, CODY-FULWILER, with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Traffic Bureau. This evening at approximately 6:48 p.m., there was reports of a collision involving a vehicle and a pedestrian in the area of Charleston and 30th Street that you see behind me. Involved in that collision is one vehicle that ended up remaining on scene and parking just down the street. And then the pedestrian involved in this collision is a juvenile. The driver did not show any signs of impairment, and the juvenile was transported to an area hospital. Preliminarily, it appears that the juvenile was crossing outside of a marked crosswalk, as well as an implied crosswalk when the juvenile was struck. The juvenile was transported to the area hospital, and despite all life-saving measures, was pronounced deceased at that area hospital. The age of that juvenile is 10 years old. There was no signs of impairment with the driver, and the driver did remain on scene. The investigation is still ongoing, and this area will be closed for approximately the next 4 to 5 hours while the fatal detectives on scene are completing their investigation. This is a reminder for not only those that drive on our roadways to pay attention, to slow down, especially during those hours where it is dark out, but also for us as pedestrians out on the roadways to pay attention, to cross where we need to, where we can, and also as parents, including as a parent myself, please watch out for your kiddos. Have those conversations with your kids about where to cross, when to cross, and how to watch out for vehicles. Because at the end of the day, as we saw last year, we don't want this to continue. This is a 10-year-old that is not going to be there with their family any longer. And as I said, a parent myself, a tragic incident that happened tonight. And we don't want to see this continue. Any questions?
Lieutenant, about that juvenile, again, a boy, correct?
That is correct, a 10-year-old boy.
Was that juvenile unattended? You mentioned crosswalk. Was that juvenile with anybody? Was anyone else injured?
At this time, there's the investigation is still ongoing as far as if anyone is with the juvenile. But I will say that the driver in this instance did not sustain any injuries or claim any injuries.
The vehicle we saw, you mentioned it. There was a vehicle that we saw. We heard from other witnesses that that vehicle was far from the scene. You mentioned stayed on scene. Why do we know if that vehicle remained close to where the accident happened or went further down? Can you give any explanation to that?
And that's still being investigated, but remained close by the scene.
And then this intersection, is this a hotbed intersection for Metro? I know you put out many different intersections. Is this a problem area that you guys have focused on in the past, or is this fairly an uncommon area for these types of accidents?
We focus in on any of the areas where there may be a high flow of pedestrian traffic or vehicular traffic. Charleston is one of those, and we continue to do those efforts and will continue to do those efforts, but we'll look closer at all those intersections as we look at this collision and the others that have occurred this year so far.
You mentioned impairment was not a factor. I'm just going to make sure speed, was that considered a factor at all?
Still under investigation. Anything else? Thank you, folks. Appreciate you.